everyone, this is Cameron, and I have been I'm thinking a lot about like what this channel is going to be and what I'm going to be covering and everything. And right now with the state of the world, the unrest everywhere, it's really got me um, all discombobulated. So I think I'm going to take a couple of minutes and just kind of go over some of the things I'm thinking about and feeling. And I don't want this to become a whining channel, so I'm going to try and add some other things in because nobody wants to hear an old lady sit here and bitch about the state of affairs forever. Right now, that's kind of where we are. So, as everybody knows, there was this, well, maybe you don't know, there was a civil unrest, and the civil unrest happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, and there were neo-Nazis there, and they were screaming and yelling things that, about white power and nobody can bring them down, nobody's going to replace the white man, and I don't think that's what anybody wants to do. I don't think anybody wants to replace anybody. What I think we need to stop doing is seeing people as something other than human. Okay? So if we could just stop calling everybody a different race and start saying human, you know, this is a human being, I'm going to treat them like a human being, then we might actually get someplace, okay? Because we are all humans. So I'm sitting here and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. And well, shocker, I'm a human being, but I'm female, okay? I'm cisgendered. In other words, I'm born into the body that my mind is female, my body is female, okay? So I'm cisgendered, not that that really matters to anybody, but that's who I am. I'm blonde-haired. Well, I mean, it used to be blonde. Now it's kind of a dirty dishwater blonde. I'm blue-eyed, if you can see. Blue eyes. Okay. And I am a lot of things. My grandfather is German. I have one grandfather that is at least half German. So what does that make me? You know, his family left Germany before World War I. His grandfather came over. His father is the first generation born here. Then he was second generation. My mother was third. I'm fourth generation on my grandfather's side. So I am, okay, so I'm German. We weren't there in either of the world wars on that side. I'm also on his side of the family. I am Welsh, Scottish, English, and Irish. Okay? That's from his mother's side of the family. So they're a little bit of mutts. And then on my other grandfather's side, on my dad's side, he was also German and English. Okay? And I don't know if anything else, but I believe, okay, I haven't done the ancestry test yet. Probably going to do it within the next year or so. Probably. But pretty much we know that I'm English and German on that side of the family. Again, his mother and father were born on a farm in Nebraska, and then he moved to California when he was 2. So, and then my grandmother's side on that other side, on my mother's side, no, on my father's side, I'm sorry, my grandmother, I'm going to have to edit some of this out. Okay, so my grandmother on my father's side, her dad was English. As far as we know, only English. And then I'm not sure about my grandmother on that side, but a lot of English there as well, as far as I know. Okay, I haven't done the genealogy. I don't know a whole lot. But what I do know is that a lot of English and a lot of German, okay? It is very evident in the way my bodacious body is shaped that I have a lot of German in there. And I'm okay with that because you know what? That's where my family came from. Now, they all left before World War II. Both of my grandfathers served in World War II. My grandfather on my mother's side fought against the Japanese. He was in Iwo Jima. Not really sure where my grandpa on my dad's side was stationed, but I do know where my grandfather on my paternal on my mother's side was stationed. And I know this because I live with my grandfather for over 2 years. I just talked to Grandpa, and I am so sad for him. He lost friends and buddies and cousins and nephews, and he lost so many people in his family over in World War II that we'll never get back. We just won't get them back, and we're in the same place, if not worse, because we should know better, okay? We should know better. And I just want to say that no matter what my heritage is, okay, no matter what those other little smatterings of this and smatterings of that, what I am is an American. I was born in the United States of America. My grandfather, my fathers, and my mother were born in the United States of America. My grandparents were all born in the United States of America. And so we're from America. The United States of America. Let me even preface this. And I think it's time we put down the hate. If that means to make people feel safe in their home, that we take down monuments, as much as I don't want to bury our past, because I don't think that you should ever ignore your past. You're bound to repeat it if you ignore it. So I think we need to learn from it. But there is ways to do that without making people feel horrible, without making people feel that they are less than human because we want a flag, or we want a monument to a general, or we want a monument to whatever. And I'm not advocating the president's monuments being torn down because they were slave owners. We didn't know then what we know now. We need to move forward. We don't need to celebrate those past presidents for their slave ownership. We need to celebrate them for the founding of this country. And you're going to say, well, isn't that the same for the South? Because the Southerners did blah, 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 and they fought and they lost. We reintegrated into the United States. We actually, when we had the Civil War, we broke the Constitution to have the Civil War. There is a part of the Constitution, you might have to go back and read it, that says you have the right to secede from the United States because of us fighting like we did with England. We didn't want that stigma. We wanted to be able to secede and say we're going to be our own country. But the ideals and the enmeshment of the states was too much to allow the South to be independent of the North. The South had all of the crops and the industry and the cotton, and the North had all of the factories and what have you. And it wasn't all about slavery, although that was the straw that broke the camel's back, okay? And so why should we not learn from that and say, you know what? We lost that war. We lost the Civil War. If you're in the South and in the North, We won the Civil War. Or why not just say, we won this nation. We won this diversity. We won this power that we are feeding ourselves because we kept our industry and our manufacturing, our growing of goods and our manufacturing in one place. And we said, brethren, you're not less because you were born in the South. You're not less because of the pigment of your skin. You're not less than because you're a female or male. And that came much, much later, by the way. The male-female thing. Female still, even after the Civil War, weren't allowed to vote. No, 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 no. Or own land in a lot of places. But we'll get to that. Brethren, we love you. We want you here. We need you with us. And we need to stop owning people. Okay? We need to stop owning people. We need to stop owning and indenturing people that want to come to the United States. We want no longer indentured servants. Okay? I don't care if they were slaves or indentured servants or whatever. We no longer want those. We want freedom for all man. And I think we need to celebrate that. We need to celebrate that we made it through that. And then we need to celebrate the fact that my grandfathers, both of my grandfathers, fought so desperately hard to keep us speaking English and not speaking German. Okay? And I'm German. A lot of German. Lots and lots of German. But they fought to keep us speaking English, not German, and not go through ethnic cleansing, which is just a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And keep us safe to create our own world, have our own opinions, have our own desires, build companies, work for other people, however it is you want to live. Not all succeeding at that right now, but we're trying, okay? So I want to say, stop the hate. I know that I'm no better than anyone else out there because of the pigment of my skin, or lack thereof, because it's more like lack thereof. And I know that I don't want to be treated with disrespect or hatred or frustration, and I don't want that for my grandchildren, and I don't want that for you. I don't want you to feel less than because of a bunch of people carrying tiki torches. Tiki torches. I mean, come on, tiki torches. Citronella? Or were they afraid of the mosquitoes? I'm sorry. I'm trying to invest a little bit of humor here because this is not fun. Tiki torches. Even the tiki company is like, don't use our torches. Don't use our torches to go marching through saying, oh, white power, because we're tiki torches were meant for barbecues. Come on, barbecues. Let's get together. We'll have a barbecue. I bet you anything that if we all got together and had a barbecue and it was really good, we'd have a lot less arguing. Because we'd be too busy eating that good barbecue. Unless you're vegan, and then we'll throw you on a vegan burger on another. Digressing. Okay, so you're not any better. They're not any better. We all need to get along. Color or the pigment of your skin doesn't mean anything other than you have more pigment and I have less. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. I love you. Stop the fighting. If you see somebody that's being hurt, stand up, speak up, call somebody, record it, get help. Don't allow the hate to win. Thank you. Love you.